Right. Good morning.
Good morning, good morning.
Another wonderful week here at East Carolina Rides.
Yep, right here. And we're back on the hottest podcast in the automotive industry today. Big
Yes,
Bob,
sir.
good to see you.
Likewise. Good to see you.
Good to see everybody out there.
Yep, we see you from here. We're make sure to hit that like and subscribe. Tell you
That's an
early and
early
often.
plug.
Yeah, exactly. So this week we're going in with a little bit of my security blanket. I've got a little bit of an outline that we drew up, but we're gonna continue to roll with this off the cuff style to a degree. It's kind of in our nature as being salesmen.
It's to me, it's the best thing, right? It's genuine. So, I can't be fake.
Yeah.
I mean, and look, somebody's 26 years in the car business and everything, sort of our job is acting a little bit because we have to get folks to see our point of view. So in order to do that, there's just natural acting you have to do and everything. But really, it's all genuine. Yeah, there's not any kind of made up stories. Let me go ahead and tell you, you can't last in one place long by telling a bunch of fibs or telling a bunch of lies, because you can't ever remember what you're going to say in the first place or what you told the person in the first place.
You,
you can't
really
remember.
Good memory. Remember what you lied about.
And let me tell you something. That stuff doesn't work out anyway. So just be yourself and be genuine, and that's what this is.
Yeah,
It's a genuine, just a kind of off the cuff podcast with a slight little outline. So
I think having it organized is just like anything. When you go into a sales day and you've got your notes written for how you want to plan yourself out, you weren't going to be able to follow that to a T. You got to be flexible and dynamic because that's a part of what the nature of this business is. And so I think it's a natural transition for somebody like you and me, that have done it for a while to,
to just talk
Yeah,
about the business
right.
we love.
No doubt.
How hard could that be?
Yeah, it's fun every week for me. So as always, we're gonna hit a few things. We're gonna talk about some tips and some advice, and maybe even got a couple stories up our sleeves.
Let's start off with a story.
Okay, I love it.
Yeah. So I like to tell stories, especially good. So you have fun stories, funny. You have stories that are interesting, and you just have stories that make you feel good. And this one made me feel good over the week. And this is one that happened this week, and I call it the Big E factor. We got a salesperson, Big E. And he goes out there and waits on this lady who happens to have her friend with her, her best friend. And anyway, so I think the lady didn't know exactly what she wanted. I think they were looking at a few options. But one of Big E's characteristics is he's very laid back. He doesn't push people. He is I guess you would call him a smooth character a little bit. He's just very, very calm demeanor, and therefore he puts his customers at calm and makes them feel comfortable and everything. Well, so as the story's going along, Big E's waiting on these two ladies, but one of them's looking at a vehicle, and then after a while, she finally lands on a pre-owned Wagoneer, and so anyway. He's showing her the vehicle and everything. Well, while they were looking at different options on the Wagoneer and everything, her friend started giving her advice on what she, maybe this one would be good. Maybe this one would be good. Yeah. It's just a natural thing that friends do.
Yeah.
In the time that she's giving her friend advice and they're talking about what kind of Wagoneer do they want and all this, that, and the other, she makes the statement somehow. I wasn't at the table. Big E was at the table. But somehow she makes a statement, well, I might as well go ahead and try to get one of these too. And Big E came up to the desk to me and he goes, Brian, I possibly may be able to sell two of these. Wow. And I was like, Big E. That's very rare. Now that happens for a husband and wife sometimes. When a
Right.
husband and wife are together,
Yeah.
and the wife's buying a vehicle, or vice versa, the husband's buying a vehicle. Sometimes they'll see the value in purchasing two at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So, but that happens usually. But usually, friends. That
Right.
never happens with friends.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
kind of like, usually either the friend is there to be a third base coach and to divert anything,
Yeah.
or either to help things along.
Turns out they were actually on first base themselves. They were a player in the game.
Well, she was a first base coach. She was telling him to steal second. And but no, it was a feel good story. The short version of the story is we wound up selling a Wagoneer that we had in stock. We wound up getting another Wagoneer from our sister store, and brought that one in for the other young lady. Mm-hmm. And they both wound up purchasing Wagoneers, which just kind of goes to show you, you don't exactly know, and this is the moral that I take out of it. Mm-hmm. So you don't know exactly what you have if you don't engage with it. Does that make sense?
Right.
In sales, if you don't engage with anything, you don't know anything. You have to be willing to engage with people of all types, not just out here on the lot, but folks back there in service department, folks that you congregate with every single day. But you have to be willing to engage, and that's the key thing. That's what I get out of that. So, yeah. But it was a feel-good story for those two young ladies, and very heartfelt thanks for their business.
Yeah.
But
over the weekend, I saw the picture with the two pointed towards each other, and two people beside Big E.
Yeah.
Which. You're right, though. That is rare. Normally, it's like if somebody's there with their husband or wife, but to have a friend, basically somebody coming along with a ride, just deciding, hey, you know what, why not?
That almost never happens.
Yeah,
okay,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I might have seen that happen maybe 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
So it almost never happens. But it was a feel-good story. They did want to get that picture staged.
Yeah.
Not to go on and on about it, but they said, okay, we can't wait to get our picture taken. Mm-hmm. And so they lined up the vehicles, and both of them were in the picture together and everything at the same time for 2 separate sales. Best friends. Yeah, so it was a
awesome.
good story.
Yeah, that kind of is a good segue into what we've been trying to push for here lately, and for the last few years is our social media presence. I feel like it's really making an impact. We're starting to see growth kind of more exponential than it was, especially with this recent push for videos. It's something that for new folks especially, I think is super important.
Yeah.
But to take a picture though with your customer, and I'm not very good at doing that. I need to get better at it myself. I don't know if I'm just missing the timing. I'm so focused on delivery and making sure their experience is good. By the time I'm done with them, their brains are fried. Not really, but I think it's something you really got to try for. You got to remember each time. Get a picture with your customers, celebrate the moment with them, and it's been really making our Facebook page shine, with a lot of happy customers.
It really gets noticed. It really gets noticed. So I'll go ahead and give a shout out to Earl to Pearl on his Lincoln videos.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Earl's done he's by far the best Lincoln salesperson we have, by far. Mm-hmm. And Bobby will tell you that. Charlene will tell you that he's the best Lincoln guy we got. So anyway,
bar none.
He gets out there, and Earl has a way in his videos of turning a car into an automobile, if that makes any sense at all.
Yeah.
His sense of elegantness, no, how
he's
elegance.
Eloquent. He's very eloquent.
He's very eloquent in his delivery and approach, and has got great word tracks. But I think those videos are good, and for someone that's not on social media much, Earl,
right?
He's getting tons of likes and stuff off of that.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
So. That I've seen a lot of it come in, and I think for me it's tough because I've gotten used to these long form type videos. So I make 2-3 minute videos. Yesterday I did a 15-minute video doing a full overview on a Cherokee. But those little 60 to 90 second clips are basically perfect for the short attention span of folks nowadays. You know, we're in this little mode, you know, when we're on our phone where we'll just scroll right on past. If, you know, we don't see something we like, it's got to get our attention in really like the first 10 or 15 seconds. And so those short clips are good. It puts the face out there of who's a salesperson around here and who to come see, because we do have a really strong team right now.
We really do.
Yeah.
Really do. Really fortunate. Good group. Staff-wise, everybody literally, to the best of their ability, tries to work well together. And a lot of times that's not the case. A lot of times you have 12 salespeople, 2 of them are bad apples. You know, but right now we have 12 salespeople, and every single one of them is an outstanding person. Very proud of our group.
Yeah, and the shift in management and to see people grow. Taylor, congratulations. I don't think we mentioned that, to being F&I manager now, which is a huge step. I think
well deserved. He was with me for a while, with the dealership for a while. He asked to go to school. I said, as long as your numbers don't drop off. His numbers didn't drop off. He was able to graduate. Now, I thought he was just going for 1 degree, right?
Yeah.
That sucker graduated with 2 degrees. I didn't know he was getting 2 degrees. But anyway, he's smarter than me, reckon. And so anyway, he got his notary and had his F&I class. And congratulations, Taylor, on the promotion.
So he graduated and then happened to take some more classes.
Yeah.
He was already in that mode, I guess, you know. The learning mode.
Yeah, so he kind of knew about maybe a couple of months ahead of time. That's the way we were leaning toward and everything. But when you go to that F&I class, that's kind of when you know it's on.
Right. Yeah. And locked in at that point.
Yeah.
Different kind of position, and I like I said, I congratulate him. He was a super cool co-host for the longest time, and really appreciate him helping us grow to this point, because without him, I mean, I wouldn't have been able to do it by myself, and he was a good person to bounce things off of. Two different types of salespeople between me and Taylor, and
I mentioned it before whenever I was a guest.
Yeah,
and he was the co-host. I mentioned 2 complete and total opposites.
Yeah,
2 complete and total opposite people, Bobby and Taylor. That's crazy. But anyway.
So we've got growth going on inside the dealership. We're going to continue on in the podcast. We've got a thing I'm going to share with you later about the potential. I really need. This is just another mid-show plug. We need subscribers. So if you are watching at this point, you've watched long enough, go ahead and hit that button, subscribe. We need 50, and it's a minimal thing, you know. So I don't think it's going to take us long to get there. But eventually we're going to make a move into season 2 and try to have some editing gimmicks and stuff like that. But
if you noticed, it started off at 2.
That's right.
Yeah. And then it went to 3, and then it went to 4. So we're not at 50 yet. We're not even halfway to 50, I don't think.
No.
But you know what? That halfway point will come. And when that halfway point comes, then the 26 will come. Then the 27 will come. It's just one at a time, and you can be that one.
That's right.
Go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now today.
And we will get back to having guests. I have some hardware upgrades that'll help us to make that a little bit easier. But moving on from inner things going on with the show, we kind of skipped it last time, and we mentioned that we were going to do it the time before, but we haven't really covered much in the used market.
No.
You know, and some of the consumer tips that I think are important may be important for a salesperson to know too. But what do you think has probably been our hottest used car, or what segment has been the sort of top?
4-wheel drive crew cab pickup trucks.
Oh yeah.
4-wheel drive crew cab pickup trucks, period. I mean, you know, whether it be Ram, Chevy, GMC, Ford, Toyota Tacomas are always hot, but on the mid-size truck platform. But you know, I think besides that, sports cars,
Really?
Yeah. So well, Chargers and Challengers.
Yeah. Every
They
time
sell
we get
like
'em.
hotcakes.
They do.
So they stopped the. Everybody knows they did the last call in 2023 for the Chargers and the Challengers. And yes, we have a new body style Charger right now that is a gasoline 6-pack. But on the used side and everything, if we take in a 21 Dodge Charger, it could have 60, 70, 80,000 miles on it. But if we take in a 21 Dodge Charger RT Hemi, that sucker's going to sell faster than a hotcake at a Shriner's dinner. I can tell you that.
No doubt. It does. They won't even hit the lot a lot of times. We'll get a little stock photo. Somebody will go out here that's on their game anyways and take a picture for a customer or have a list. I have a list of people that are always looking for Chargers and Challengers alike, even though the Challenger's not quite as popular as the Charger. But yeah, I do agree. The Charger, they sell super quick. Any of them that we get.
If you have a pre-owned Charger and you happen to be looking for an upgrade, right now is your time to trade that car. Because right now you're getting the top dollar for trade-in, because dealers are getting the top dollar for retail. Yeah. And that's just the bottom line. Challengers as well. But I'd probably say if we get one of those, that's a real hot car. Grand Cherokees, pre-owned Grand Cherokees, especially the certified pre-owned ones, they are flying off the shelf. Can't hardly keep them. I think some of that has to do. I think it's a little twofold. I think some of it had to do with, well, on the 2026s, they came out a little late. They still had an abundance of 25s left.
Right.
Well, now those 25s are just about gone on dealers' lots. You can find a new 25 on some dealers' lots, but for the most part, they're just about gone. Well, with the 26s, they rolled into that new 2.0 Hurricane engine in them, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's a little twofold. I think some of the folks want to maybe revert back and maybe get a 24 or 25 on the pre-owned side, especially if it's got that certification on it where it gives you extra warranty. And then at that point, they get the tried and true 3.6 liter Pentastar V6.
Yeah.
And I think that makes folks feel a little bit more comfortable. So I think that's a little bit of the game that's going on right now with the Grand Cherokees on the pre-owned side. Yeah. Wagoneers are hot.
Yeah.
Wagoneers are hot on the pre-owned side. Like I said, Big E just sold 2 of them.
Yeah. I've sold 3, I think, in the last week and a half. A couple of those were new. But Wagoneers have been really popular. The new ones, the price point dropped, and the pre-owned ones, they didn't change much. So you can get basically the same sort of stuff if you don't necessarily need the newest look. You're still getting what's current gen interior in the pre-owned models. And one thing that I've noticed in Wagoneers, especially the ones we've gotten here lately, is that people take really good care of their Wagoneers. When they trade them in with us, they're usually going to buy another Wagoneer or they're going to buy another Jeep. But I've noticed that if somebody's driving a Wagoneer, we had one come in at 141,000 miles. If I'd looked at it, I would have not seen the odometer. I would have guessed that was probably a 80,000 mile Wagoneer. And
it's a nice, clean vehicle. And for the most part, the folks that have those Wagoneers and or Grand Wagoneers, and the same way with Lincoln Navigator. Yeah. The Lincoln Navigator customer that trades in a Lincoln Navigator, their vehicles are normally very tight. It's they're in nice condition.
It goes a long way in the value, and I know I tell people, if they're friends of mine, I say don't worry about detailing it, to bring it in for trade-in, but just keeping it up goes a long way. I mean, the little things, going around it and touching it up every now and then, if you get a little ding in a parking lot, but you do those things and they can actually help your trade value quite a bit as far as something for the consumers.
Yeah, think about whenever I go out to appraise a car. When I go out to appraise a car, it is my job to put an adequate amount of money on what I feel like that car is actually worth based on the mechanical condition, drivability. But my job is to go out there and to try to find something wrong with the car, right?
Right.
Because I'm going to start off at a base.
Yeah.
And then from the base, I'm going to start deducting for stuff that I find wrong.
Yeah.
So the less stuff I find wrong, the more my base stays up. And I'm going to tell you, if a car is clean, I could actually go base plus. If it's clean, I'll go more than base if a car, to the appearance wise and to the drivability wise, if it's really, really nice, I'll go above base.
Yeah.
On it.
Well, usually if somebody's doing those things, it's just like when we spot Michelin's, tires on a vehicle. If they're putting Michelin's on it, if they're keeping it pretty clean, the body's in good shape, they look like they're physically taking care of the vehicle. Mechanically, you probably ain't got a lot to worry about, outside of just things that may pop up, and that of course can happen with anything.
If somebody's willing to pay for Michelin's and put on their car, you know what? The bottom line is they think a lot about that car.
Heck yeah.
They think a lot about that car to put the most expensive tires,
right.
Or just about. But everybody's, Michelin's got this. Michelin's like, as far as like longevity goes, Michelin tires normally last about 60 to 80,000 miles.
Right.
And it's sort of like the Honda Accord of tires.
Yeah.
If you want to put it.
Yeah, the longevity, and they ride nice, so you pay the premium for it.
But somebody cared about the vehicle to do that.
Yeah.
So that certainly wasn't its first set of tires with 70,000 miles on it,
Yeah. Yeah. If somebody's got brand new Maypops,
wheel pops.
General wheel pops.
I've seen some wheel pops right here recently. I'm going to go ahead and tell you what.
Yeah, they got some brand new tires on there, and they're looking to trade it in. That's usually when the little light bulb comes on. They're like, something's probably wrong with this thing.
I told a customer the other day. They said, I'm gonna have to replace the tires, and I looked at the tire and I said, yeah, they's got more chords than the James Taylor album.
That's pretty good.
Well, that's what the customer said too. The customer laughed and said, I know.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like at a certain point, you gotta, I know you want to ride it out until the tire, you don't want to trade it in with brand new tires, but eventually you got to think about your safety. Put on some used tires before you trade it in. Make sure you get to the dealership. Oh man, that's pretty funny. So I think the next couple episodes we're gonna close out strong. And have some. I'm gonna try to get somebody in. I got to find the guest. We got to have somebody in here along with us. We've been on a long streak here.
Well, who are we thinking about?
I think we need to get somebody from service.
Okay.
That was a plan for me a few weeks back. It was like a couple months ago, and it didn't end up panning out. So I just.
We want to try to recruit for it this week or season 2.
I think we need to close out strong. I think we need to end with a guest, somebody.
Well, I'll grab somebody from service then.
Okay.
I'll just tell them they're going to do a podcast and be here at 7:30 in the morning on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah. We'll see you next week. Whoever it ends up being, we really do like to have that extra set of eyes or set of thoughts as far as what's going on in the dealership, because our service department is crucial to us being a success here.
Yes.
And another big shout out for our detail guys, because ultimately they are the second to last thing. We got the delivery. You got to have a delivery.
They are so key. Mm-hmm. They are so key and instrumental into the customer receiving their final product.
Right.
And you have to realize customers are at a all-time fever pitch emotional level of happiness here.
Yep.
And if their vehicle comes out and it's not clean, that feeling can come down. And
mm-hmm.
as a dealership, that is a feeling you do not want your customer to have. We want to exceed the customer's expectation. We want to make sure that their feeling and their emotion level remains happy and high throughout the entire process, and let them know we're not only going to be there for them during this delivery process, we're going to go over the features of the vehicle with them, we're going to show it to them, and we're also going to be able to follow up with them later to see how they're getting along with it, because we truly want to make sure that we develop the relationship that lasts to the next sale. Yep. But service is what gets you that next sale.
Right.
And for all you salespeople that's hanging on later on in this podcast watching, just remember, service is next sale, and detail, always take care of your detail people. Always take care of your detail people. They're underappreciated and often overutilized, okay? Yeah. And that's a bad combination. You can't overutilize somebody's talents and not give them a pat on the back, not give them any lunch. So somebody needs to buy them some lunch.
Yeah, they deserve recognition. They do
as a thank you.
The little things, and our longtime detail guide, Greg.
Money.
He is the man, and he is really, really good at what he does, and he has that eye for detail, and that's not something that happens overnight. He's built his ability to be a detail guy.
I don't question G.
No.
Because I'm going to go ahead and tell you what, he knows more about detailing a car than what I'd ever know. Yeah, I've been in the business a long time, but that is his stick. I was talking to him, I don't know when it was. It was a couple of years ago, and we had to do something on a customer's car, and I was trying to give him some advice, and he looked at me kind of like, no, that's not the way you do it.
Right.
So, I was like, oh, he's right.
Yeah. And we do. We really rely on our team here, and so just wanted to give a little shout out. We're going to get one of the guys, maybe Gia want to come here, I don't know, but we'll continue to grow and to have more folks on here, share the glory of the hottest podcast. What do you say?
It's the hottest podcast in the automotive industry.
That's right.
And it's proven. It's proven right here. You guys liking, sharing it, and everything. We're getting more views per week and everything. So hopefully this one will put us over 100 this week.
That's right.
That's what my goal is to get over 100 views this week, and we can get there.
Yep. Well, I appreciate you guys watching. Brian, appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
We're going to continue striving on, and of course, if you got any questions, anything you want to see in the next podcast, we're going to start to have a little mailbox. So, if you've got some stuff you want us to talk about or cover, put it in the comments. Make sure to subscribe. I know I'm saying it a lot in this episode, but this is the big push. We need a big push for subscribers.
If you're a customer, if you want some just unsolicited advice, right?
Yeah.
Please just drop a comment in the underneath, and we'll go ahead and give you some advice.
Become a part of the show. We'll mention you. And we appreciate it. And all the feedback and everything you guys have provided for us, we really appreciate it. And we will continue riding on to the next episode. But thanks again for watching, y'all. We'll see you next week.
Take care, everybody.
See ya.